My name is Brandon Renwick, and I chose to do my final project on cryptocurrencies. It was my static visualization project with the Tableau, the 10 visualizations, as well as my dynamic visualization. So you guys may remember, and some of this may look pretty familiar. So to start out, the data set that I chose was the same data set. It's from coinmetrics.io. This site allows you to either pay to join their API and give you accurate readings of cryptocurrencies in the past couple of years up to now, or you can download some legacy data for free in CSV file, which I opted to do. Later on, the visualization tools that I created could be built out in the future, but I didn't want to pass the paywall there. Okay, so just to give a little bit of reference, this was my visualization for the interactive design. As you can see, it's pretty simple. It's just a price or whatever metric you want to include here, which is like 24-hour trading volume, market capitalization over time. And I would say that that's challenge number one for cryptocurrency is that unlike other financial applications, because it's anonymous, you don't have a lot of other information to pull from. But that's not to say that you can't make some really good exploratory data analysis tools just using kind of time as a way of gauging the data. So as you can see, it responds to this slider over here, which constrains the date and allows you to kind of see, okay, well, what's Ethereum doing in 2015, or well, how was Bitcoin? Oh, wow, I should invest. So that kind of provided a baseline which I built off of. So the motivation for my final project was to take this visualization and expand it into a dashboard. And I very quickly found out that that was a really maybe too ambitious of a project because they're very difficult to make. And when you're making lots of dynamic visualizations that link up, that was a whole learning curve within itself. And so the overall structure of the back end of the web design had to be redesigned, and my lack of experience with JavaScript libraries such as D3 really kind of showed in the hours. But nonetheless, I'm happy with my final product. I would love to build on it in the future, though. So this is basically it. It's a cryptocurrency investment dashboard. And as unattractive as it looks when you zoom out, the main feature is the brushing tool right here on the bottom. And I like this a lot more because it allows you to select an interval and you can move it left to right, and the data on the right hand side and the main screen will adjust accordingly. And it, instead of the other visualization which only gave you just a line graph, this actually stacks them all up together. And so you can analyze, like, okay, how much, and its thickness right here, how much thicker is Litecoin during this time period than this time period. And you can kind of gauge visually and with your eyes where the cryptocurrencies kind of stacked up. Additionally, the static, and I say that loosely, the static visualizations right here on the right side of the screen give a little bit more insight. Because Bitcoin tends to dominate with scale, the visualizations on the right-hand side provide an additional kind of visual feature as far as, okay, how did these coins stack up? For example, you see right here, Bitcoin Cash was definitely a contender and in a certain interval of time exceeded Bitcoin. So as we move our time interval here, the right side of the screen definitely gives you in my opinion, a much more refined scale of what was going on at the time. So basically, I kind of initially started out to make the dashboard to kind of help guide buying and selling decisions. However, because of the legacy data I was required to use and additional time constraints, I ended up just making an exploratory data analysis tool so that you can kind of better understand the history of cryptocurrencies and where they stand. It was a lot of work. The visual encodings were difficult, and D3 made them sometimes finicky. As you see here on the right-hand side, sometimes my numbers don't really like to behave, but that just chalks up to my lack of experience. So I really hope you guys, kind of liked this project. I really enjoyed making it, and yeah, I wish to improve upon it in the future. Thank you.